You work for me, sir.
I don't work for you, sir. I don't work for you, sir.
Excuse me? Can you say that again? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Are you a public servant? Are you a public servant?
I was cop watching Phil, as he audited the Torrance Courthouse.
I'm gonna keep going straight, okay?
Okay. So I was filming him from a public place on the sidewalk of the court, Torrance Court.
So why are you taking your handcuffs off? That's why I'm here. I'm here to count.
They didn't say anything to me. It was their dialogue was with Phil the whole time. And as they were coming out, they finally backed him up to the sidewalk.
You're the only criminal. I'm in a public sidewalk. You better stay away from me.
And that's when they noticed that I was there.
No, stay away from me. You're a criminal. And I think you're going to shoot me. Look at a criminal. What a coward. Why are you holding your stuff?
I think there was like 6 of them at one time.
Man, you guys are aggressive for a First Amendment protected activity.
They don't have any body cams or anything like that.
No body cams. So you're telling me you're doing the same thing you're telling me I can't do. I'm going to keep filming the courthouse though. You can't trespass my eyes.
And then against your will, they brought you to the courthouse. They took you into the courtroom.
Bring him before
you will be sued
on a public sidewalk.
On a public sidewalk?
Because they said we have 2 people out here filming the courthouse, so there were really no questions asked. On a public sidewalk. The judge said to bring you guys in.
Senior, go ahead and bring him in.
His cell phone roll.
They're bringing me in.
All of a sudden, you guys, and I was included in you guys.
Okay, you guys, the judge told us to bring you in.
Great, I love it.
They knew we were recording. They made us turn our cameras off at security.
I love this.
Come on, just bring you up to, you can turn off.
You didn't go there with the intent to film inside the courtroom.
I never intended to be inside the courtroom.
Okay.
And
okay.
I mean, if I'm going to get kidnapped off the street, I have no pen or paper to take notes. I need to know what's going on. How am I going to tell my lawyer what happened if I don't have a record of it? I have no way of taking notes.
True, that's true. It's a very valid point.
They kidnapped me off the street. I had no reason why. I had no idea why I was even being taken in. I was on a public sidewalk the entire time. And then you're going to put me in an elevator with 6 armed thugs. And no, I record police. That's what I do.
Okay.
I don't interact with them unless I have something recording.
Well, I think that's what's recommended for everybody, right?
Right.
Record. How do you feel about your experience?
I'm glad I got my phone back. I mean, they kidnapped me and then they stole my property without even having a charge. There was potential last week. If anybody committed a crime, it was them, not me.
Yeah.
They were asking me to ID myself, and I'm like, what are you charging me with? And the answer was potentially, and then I was like, I'm not even listening to the rest of this. This is ridiculous. Potential? I'm here on a potential. You want me to ID myself? I don't know if they were going to give me my phone back today or not. I think it pulled it for 3 years while some trial goes through. I mean, you know how they work, slow as molasses, but we're quick to take.
I think you're happy that it was dismissed, but I don't think you're happy with the outcome of what happened.
No, because it was like bribery, basically. Like, if you delete it, then we won't file anything. So it wasn't like it was justice.
So would you say that you were forced to delete your file, your recording, under duress?
Yeah, it was that, and I had to apologize. Why? Are you sorry for kidnapping me? Why do I have to apologize? But that's how I have to mitigate to get my stuff back that you stole and kidnapped me. And I'm the one who has to bow down. That's not right.
Okay.
Are you going to delete all of your recordings of me being in your courtroom? No.
So is this going to deter you to continuing doing what you're doing?
No. Okay. Just makes me want to do it more.
I feel you there. Well, something did happen, right?
Well, yeah, but on their eyes, they're like, oh, we're just, okay, it's going to go away now. And it's all fine. Your inconvenience is not any of our business. We don't really care, you know?
I don't work for you. I don't work for you.
Do you have any advice for people that might find themselves in a similar situation?
You always have to challenge and question authority. The only way that this is going to change is if people push the envelope and do the right thing. First Amendment shall not be infringed. However, it's being infringed everywhere, just like the Second, just like the Fourth, everywhere. And until people stand up and say, this is wrong, I don't care what your opinion is, this is wrong. Not your little codes or rules or orders. Until people start saying, hell no, we won't go, nothing's going to change.
At the point that the deputies took custody of you guys were both on a public sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
You had never left the public sidewalk.
Right.
And Philip, who you were filming with, was in a public area.
Right.
Outside the courthouse,
in the courthouse,
but in a public area.
You're in public. They're recording you at every stoplight. And they're recording you outside of the courthouse too. They're recording you everywhere.
It seems that it's okay for the government to film the people. It's not okay for the people to film the government.
Right. We own you, and because we have the guns, and so you're going to do what we say. It's all out of threat of violence. Everything at the end of the day, you take it to the end of the road, it ends with either a gun or a cage. Everything. There's nothing voluntary about it. They will use force to get you to comply. That is what it is. That is what government is. The end. If I didn't want to pay taxes, what would happen? If I didn't pull over for the police car that's got his lights on me, what would happen? If I didn't pay my ticket, what would happen? It's all violence. And, you know, there was argument about people coming to court and wanting to be kept private, like domestic violence victims, or, you know, people who were raped, or, you know, people under like the witness protection program type scenarios. And, you know, they don't want to be filmed and they don't want to be put on whatever. And it's like their case is public record. Everything that happens in that court is public record. And the reason why they are public hearings is for the public to watch the proceedings and make sure that the government is not doing anything that is not lawful by forbidding that in the courtrooms. You see it all the time. People have to claw their way innocent. That is not the way it's supposed to be. But all these proceedings and the way that they go, that's exactly what it is, because they shut the cameras down. And, you know, if people are really worried about, you know, their stalkers from their domestic violence or whatever, there are witness protection. There are ways around it, but they use that as an excuse. That's nonsense.
That there are many courts in other states that allow recording in the courtroom. In fact, the court itself audio video records it and gives copies to people who do a records request for it. So it would seem that, huh?
Do they do it for free?
I don't know if they do it for free. I think
why do I have to pay for this? Why do I have to pay for the record that you insist on being the only one to keep? Why? I'm capable of doing it myself for free.
Yeah.
And the record that you get, is it the entire record, or has it been edited? Because I had some commenters who were like, yeah, a good 40 minutes of testimony was left out of my transcripts. How do you prove that unless you have your own recording of it?
Too many times we see, in fact, in your case there, the deputy wanted to go off the record. So
right.
off the record means that there's no record of it.
Right.
But there's still stuff happening in the court, and there's still going to be decisions made based on whatever's discussed off the record.
It's not a fair hearing if one side can do something and the other side can't. Let's play football. I'm going to wear a helmet and pads, and you're not going to get to do that. Let's go. So
what would you like to see changed?
I think that people should be able to record. And I get like the whole name thing and redacting and blah, 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 blah. You know what? Your information is everywhere, and the people who you want it to have at least have it all.
And I'm in love with being queen.